The truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other...
Cheating shouldn't outweigh all the good that you've done is also to say there's an amount of good you can do to deserve to cheat, which is bullshit.
Hey guys, RRHE here. Welcome back to another video. Now, you've all seen the video circling around about Derrick Jaxn. It's out now, it's public knowledge, so I guess it's no allegation, it's fact. Though none of us were there, none of us know the root causes or how, if, when, why, where, what started it and all that happened. But nonetheless, it's out there. Now, we all know who this person is. He's famous on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. He's on everybody's feed. If you scroll through, you've seen someone giving relationship advice. Don't cheat. Black men don't cheat. Men don't cheat. Why he's not sorry for any men that cheat. He's like a relationship expert, per se, a marriage expert, and there's only one judge. Let's all be mindful of that. None of us here are not innocent by any means. We've all done something, did something, still doing something, or in the back of our mind, thinking of doing something. So let's not be so quick to run this man into dirt, and wish good fortune to him and his wife and family, and hope that things get back to a normalcy, because the funny thing about this is that we're all guilty. Cheating, lying, stealing, robbing, possibly murder. We're all guilty of something. The only thing is that our video and our lives have not yet been exposed. So we live in that bubble of false security. They're saying what's in the dark must come to light. Now, I think the reason what makes this disheartening and hard is that all these videos are putting the man, the relationship, wife, putting everything at that high level, thing that should not be crossed, things we should not do, how we should be married, how we should be in a relationship, type of man you should be, type of woman you should be, type of couple you should be. I think he wrote a couple of books, and those are sold out on his website. That means people are taking in his advice. People listen to this person, and that's the important thing. When you have people that listen to the things you say, you have to ensure that the things you say have value, have foundation, have truth, and overall are actually the real deal, your real views, things you live by. It's hard to be telling people your views and how men should be in a relationship and what's right, what's wrong, and giving your personal opinion and your views out there based on your experience and all that stuff. Sorry. And then you go around and you do the exact opposite. Now,
The truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just...
he's doing cover up, damage control per se. And no one's really believing anything he's saying, because it's a once a cheater, always a cheater. And he even said in this video that
cheating shouldn't outweigh all the good that you've done is also to say there's an amount of good you can do to deserve to cheat, which is bullshit. And I shouldn't even have to explain that, because vice versa, we will catch a fucking fit and, decide to be hoes for the rest of our life if a woman were to ever break our heart, no matter how much good she's done. But anywho, you don't know how much damage you've done by cheating on a woman, so we can't reduce it to just one lapse in judgment, one slip up or whatever. That's besides the fact that none of us really slip up and fuck anybody. There was a rapport that we built. There was scoping out that happened. There was putting ourselves in that position. There was flirting. You know what I'm saying? So going by most people's definition of cheating, yeah, you just slip up. But the truth is, you've probably been cheating months before you actually put your dick in it. And more times, I would say 9 times out of 10, when a dude gets caught cheating, that wasn't his very, very first time cheating. That wasn't his only time cheating. That was his only time getting caught. Let's be real. But back to what I was saying.
If you're caught cheating, or if you are cheated or are a cheater, you have been doing it before the actual act, because most things happen in the mind. any process, any work, anything, it starts in the mind. You think about it and you build on that thought and you plan things out how you're going to do this.
That's besides the fact that none of us really slip up and fuck anybody. There was a rapport that we built. There was scoping out that happened. There was putting ourselves in that position. There was flirting.
Minister, president, everybody lies. So I'm not putting him down as, hey, he's nothing because this happened to him. He made a mistake. He made a tragic mistake, a terrible mistake. Maybe it was deliberate. But people always say if you're done with the relationship, then you leave the relationship alone. His exact words. You don't want her, leave her, let another man have her, let another man love her. Why didn't he leave his wife? Questions only he can answer. So it's just really something that's really out there on the net, going around, floating around. Everybody has their own views on it. Anybody's really talking about it because he's such a public figure, and he gave all this advice about strong relationship, a strong marriage, a strong this, a strong that, and this happened. Now, I'm limited on information regarding this, as do most persons. But most information people are getting is what's been posted, what people have said, and the perception they get from reading into it. No one was there unless he sat you down and he told you exactly why, when, where, or unless you have unfiltered, unemotional information, like why did this person come forth? Why was he outed? Maybe it's just because anything that's in the dark will come to light. Maybe it's just his time. And that's going to happen because whenever there's a case of infidelity, anything sexual, out of context, out of place, there's always going to be there's always some evidence, from way in the past that he did something one time, or at this party this happened, or in that party that happened, or one time he touched me, I didn't like it, I didn't know where it was going, and this time we had sex, and that time, and of his own mouth, before you even think of getting in a relationship with her. It's already happened. You've thought about it. You've probably done it before. Just like they say in a relationship, if a woman leaves you today, that means she left you probably a few months before. Or when she get up and say, hey, it's over, she pack her stuff and she get out. That was 2, 3, 4 months, even longer in the past. It all boiled up to her making this move, just like in this. So people just have to understand that, listen, we're all speculating right here. We're all getting all the information, and tomorrow something new will be out, and we'll put it together with something that was out from a while back, and we're like, oh, that's why. But we have to be careful and be mindful that, hey, we're all one mistake away. I wish them all the best. I wish every couple all the best, They look like they're working it out, and he's a relationship expert per se, so I guess he knows exactly how to fix this. And if it works for him, hey, why should we lose any sleep, hey? Just be careful what you read, be careful what you watch, be careful what you listen to, be careful who you allow to influence your life. Nobody's perfect, even the person you look up to. A lot of cases over the world, you have persons in high position, teachers, pastors, community leaders who have been accused, not saying convicted or charged, accused of doing something that they shouldn't have done. Mismanagement of funds, sexual abuse, lying. Just be careful of who we allow to influence our lives. Because most of us put our tomorrow, our todays and tomorrows, and our futures on what people they put their trust in tells them. You listen to some motivational speaking and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I should do that. Not everything works for everybody. You have to find what works for you. And yes, most of these things, they make sense when you listen to them. You listen, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I should do that. No, you should double think it. Because if that's that person's reality and that person's experience, doesn't mean that's going to work well for you. Doesn't mean that's your reality or how your deck of cards are going to play out. They may look the same on the surface. When you move a few cards around, you realize you have a totally different hand, and that game has to play differently. we have to step back and understand that, hey, we're all humans and none of us are perfect. He who is without sin cast the first stone. No, it's just that his information is now public. If a lot of us information becomes public, we'll be in the same or even worse predicaments than he is in right now. But he looks like he's doing good. He doesn't look like anything has changed. Apart from his relationship with his followers and the people, that may change, because now people are going to, take the things he say with a grain of salt, like, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. And that's just something he needs to work on. He needs to work on it with himself, with his wife, and with God, because he's not accountable to me, to you, nor nobody else. He was just a topic because everybody knows who he is, what his videos were about, and how he has criticized a lot of different lifestyles and always try to paint the picture of what a perfect marriage or whatever should be. And it just showed you that he's only human. He's not perfect, nor above temptation. So if anyone thought that he was a god or he was beyond this or beyond that, there you go. He's not perfect. He's a man that made a mistake, says he's sorry, and he's working on it, fixing it with his wife, with God, and moving on. And hey, we should all move on too, but that's just it. That's just life. That's a story you'll see. You go on YouTube, any social media, anywhere, there's going to be a million comments about this, because everybody has an opinion. Persons already knew, suspected, thought, didn't believe him. Listen, there's 8 point whatever billion of us in the world. Yeah, some of us are going to get things wrong. But nonetheless, guys, thanks for watching the video. Consider giving it a like, and if you love the video, consider subscribing. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.